All right, guys, now that the Super Bowl is over, now that the NFL has had their big moment, their big money moment, and the media has gotten a chance to kind of distance itself from the racial element of this and beat us over the head that this is really a mental health issue. Because remember, everything's right with the world now that Biden's in office. If this story had happened under the Trump administration, this would have been about Trump and emboldening white people and digging up old tweets of this dude and racism and yada, yada, yada. But since it's under the Biden administration, it's all right with the world. But this girl, Aaliyah Taylor, she's speaking out, okay? She's speaking out now. And she has some interesting things to say about the Chad Wheeler situation. And it's good to hear it from her own words. So hit the like button, subscribe. If you have any stories you would like me to cover, make sure you send them to my email, akintunde2@gmail.com.
In an exclusive interview, the ex-girlfriend of former Seattle Seahawks player Chad Wheeler tells us how she says he assaulted her. Now, Wheeler pleaded not guilty last week to several charges, including first-degree domestic violence assault. Aaliyah Taylor is her name. She told our national correspondent, Jerika Duncan, about the moments after the reported assault at their Seattle area apartment last month.
I had touched my face, and I looked down, and there was blood on my hand. And I remember getting up and running to the bathroom. Chad was standing by the bed, by the doorway, and he was sipping his smoothie. And was like, "Wow, you're still alive."
That's what he said to you.
I'm grateful he didn't grab me in that moment. I was able to run to the bathroom. He went back into the living room to continue eating. I had texted his dad too and told him that Chad was trying to kill me. Chad's dad called him while he was eating and while I was in the bathroom. And he answered. And he didn't have any worry at all. And Chad was like, "I'm just eating dinner. Nothing's going on." And that terrified me.
Oh my God. Very frightening. We'll have more of our exclusive interview with Taylor, including why she's speaking out now tomorrow on CBS This Morning. We should say that Chad Wheeler is no longer with the Seattle Seahawks. He says that he was diagnosed with bipolar and that he is seeking help for that. He's expressed deep remorse and deep regret, so we'll hear what she has to say and hopefully hear more about what he's saying about
It's
this.
terrifying scene.
Terrifying. What she's telling is very, very
I think there's more going on here than just bipolar. Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of people, there's too many comments to count where people are talking about the fact that Chad Wheeler is free. And they're very upset that Chad Wheeler's free. And, you know, I'm upset too. I think it's messed up that this guy's not in prison. But stop bringing up Mike Vick, man. It's two different situations. Mike Vick got charged, went on trial, got convicted, then went to jail. Chad Wheeler got charged, got a $400,000 bond, bonded out, paid $40,000 to bond out, because you only pay 10%, and now he's awaiting trial. So there's a difference, okay? And I know that that's hard for us to see, to understand, because we're emotional, and this is Twitter and a bunch of liberal idiots on there. But it's very common for people to kill somebody, even do worse than Chad, because Chad didn't kill this woman. It would be attempted murder. But it's very common for people to kill people and get out. and be home awaiting trial. It's very common. And there's no racial element to it. Black people, it happens to black people all the time. Black people kill white people all the time in their home awaiting trial.
Well, you probably heard about house arrest and bail or bond. Those are alternatives to being in jail while you're awaiting trial.
But did you know accused murderers are not always in custody? The I-Team's Vanessa Murphy takes a closer look at both sides of this issue.
At least 35 defendants charged with murder in Clark County are not in jail. The circumstances vary. A woman who police say shoved an elderly man off a bus, a security guard accused of killing a man on the job, and several alleged acts.
Did you hear that? A woman who shoved an elderly man off of a bus 2 years ago been sitting at home waiting for trial the whole time. An elderly white man. There was no outrage over this. And the details of the story are horrifying. The woman was on the bus acting like a nut. The guy walked past and was like, hope you have a nice day. Hope you feel better later. And she turned around and shoved him off the bus. He flew off the bus as the door opened and hit and landed on his head and died. No outrage. And she been home for 2 years since that happened. This other sister, she killed the white man at a store she was working at. I think he was like stole like a candy bar or something, and she killed him. Murdered him. Could you imagine if she would have been on the other foot?
But did you know accused murderers are not always in custody? The I-Team's Vanessa Murphy takes a closer look at both sides of this issue.
At least 35 defendants charged with murder in Clark County are not in jail. The circumstances vary. A woman who police say shoved an elderly man off a bus, a security guard accused of killing a man on the job, and several alleged acts of domestic violence. At least 9 are accused of killing children, most of them their own.
He paid less for his bond than the cost of my child's funeral.
Veronica Melton's son Giovanni was 14 years old. Her ex-husband, Wendell Melton, is accused of shooting him back in 2017 because he was gay. Today, he's on house arrest awaiting trial.
That brother killed his son because he was gay. And they was like, all right, you free to go. We'll holler at you on your court date. And that was years ago. He still ain't went to court yet. So I just want you guys to understand that yes, I'm upset. I want you guys to understand. I'm definitely upset. I feel you. I'm peed off that Chad Wheeler's home. I'm peed off about a lot of things about the story. The media, the lack of media coverage. Not social media, but mainstream media. I'm peed off about that stuff. But, okay, guys, so yes, I am peed off about the Chad Wheeler situation. I wish he was in prison right now. But these things are not racial. And I hate to be the party pooper because I know emotionally, we're victims. It's just not the case, man. Just not the case. Okay? It's just not the case. People kill people often, as you can see. And they go home and they await their trial. Their trial may come around a year or two later down the line. The murders could be on video. We don't have video of this. This woman technically could be lying, even though I believe her because the injuries and the fact that he's not denying. He just saying he just doing what Gail's like he bipolar. The white dude had to check. Yeah, the white dude was like, yeah, I think this had something more to do with bipolar. But he's not saying he ain't doing it. He's just saying, yeah, I did it, but, you know, I had an episode. So I believe her, what she's saying. But you can kill somebody on camera and be a black person killing a white person on camera and go home. All that stuff about the racist judicial system, that's because there's so many more black people killing people than it is white people killing people in this country now. Now, back with the conquistadors and slavery and all that stuff, yes, it was more white people killing back then. But now, it's more black people killing. So yes, you're going to have more black people in jail. Black people going to get... There's going to be more black people getting sentenced to this, to sentenced to that, because there's more black people killing people. Let's go to the National Gun Memorial. Of all Americans killed with guns, regardless of race. And this is most of them. They don't really get all of them, but they get the ones where there's news stories about in the paper, in the local papers. They can't get all of them, but it's a good sample size. And they get damn near all of them. They get the majority of them. And you would think that this was the Black Gun Memorial. You wouldn't think that this was the gun memorial for all Americans. You would think this was the gun memorial for black Americans. This is the gun memorial for all Americans that have died each day. Look at this. Destiny Johnson. She was killed at a downtown party. She was running away from a fight in a downtown Cleveland apartment building when she was killed. Jesus. A 24-year-old woman was shot and killed early Saturday morning at what Cleveland police described as a large party. Fight broke out when Johnson and the others ran away. The suspect chased Johnson and shot her as she entered the stairwell. Officers found her in the stairwell, took her to the hospital. Nobody's been arrested. Nobody seen nothing. Nobody saw nothing. And look at this. All these black folk that's getting killed, man. I mean, all these black women that's getting killed. Just look at this. Every day in this country, the majority of the people who get killed are black. And we worried about Chad Wheeler beating that black girl up, which is sad. It's sad. It's sad, man. Trust me, it's sad. Look at all these brothers. Look at all these brothers, man. Look at all these homeboys. Damn. All these brothers that's getting killed every day. And the majority of the people that you see killed every day are look at this. Jakari Hemphill, age 1. Man killed ex-girlfriend and her 2 kids. Who you think killed this woman and her 2 children? Who you think killed this woman and 2 kids? Killed the 1-year-old, shot a 1-year-old. Who shot a 1-year-old and a 7-year-old? Who you think did that? That's who killed. That's who shot that woman, shot her 7-year-old daughter, and shot her 1-year-old daughter. Because he was mad that she ain't want to be with him no more. And it's so many stories like that. Hit one if you've been seeing me. And make sure you definitely join me for the nightly news with Ock Nation. It's actually the evening news or afternoon news. Every afternoon on Living Room Gangster, I go live. Make sure you subscribe to that channel. Link is in the description. Living Room Gangster. I go live on that channel every day in the afternoon. And we talk about stuff like this, man. That's happening all over Blackistan. And many other topics. It's a great show. We have a lot of fun. Make sure you subscribe to that channel. Hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when I go live on that channel. All these 2-year-old boy dies after double shooting in Winona.
Story tonight, there may be video evidence in the shooting death of a 2-year-old in Birmingham. Good evening, I'm Mark Franklin.
I'm Sherry Jackson. As CBS 42 first reported Thursday night, someone shot up a home, killing Major Turner and injuring his mother. CBS 42's Jake Chapman joins us now live from the police department. And Jake, do police have any suspects?
No suspects have been named at this time, Sherry, but we did speak with Police Chief Patrick Smith late this afternoon, who tells us there could be video evidence in this case, as he and city leaders demand to know who is responsible.
Let's give justice to this young baby who's done nothing to no one.
Police Chief Patrick Smith addressing the issues of gun violence in the city.
I mean, let's look at it. Last year, we took over 2,500 guns off the street, and we're still having shootings.
And because of gun violence Thursday night, a mother suffered life-threatening injuries, and 2-year-old Major Turner now dead.
I can tell you through their tears, through their pain, I'm listening to them. This family is grieving.
Mayor Randall Woodfin addressed Turner's death Friday afternoon, as he is making it a top priority for the city to find those responsible.
Shame on you. The person or the people that did this are cowards. They're punks. This is not a way to solve issues. And when an innocent child is killed, do the right thing.
We asked Chief Smith how change can come, and no other child will be lost this way. He says it will take a community effort to get through this.
We can't just wait until something extreme happens, the tragic loss of a young child, before we decide to take action.
And through this tragedy, the investigation continues. And the mother who was shot last night and sustained life-threatening injuries has been treated and released from a local hospital. And if you have any information on this case, you're urged to call Crime Stoppers or Birmingham Police Department. We have those numbers inside CBS42.com. Live in Birmingham tonight, Jake Chapman, CBS 42 News. Local coverage you can count on.
Jake, thank you. And tonight, the Housing Authority, where the shooting took place, issued a statement that reads in part, every resource at our disposal is being used to assist the Birmingham Police Department in bringing these murderers to justice. And we are confident that justice will be served in this case and that these criminals responsible for taking this child's life will be arrested.
Just look at all these people, man. "19-year-old woman shot dead in drive-by with children inside vehicle. The Richland County Sheriff's Department is investigating the drive-by shooting that killed a woman who had 7 children in the vehicle during the incident. On February 4th, around 5:30 p.m., deputies were dispatched to the 200 block of Charleswood Drive by the Columbia Fire Department in reference to a vehicle accident. Upon arrival, deputies said they found a 19-year-old driver was shot in her upper body. Raynisha Nixon. Nixon was taken to the hospital where she later died. According to the incident report, Nixon was driving a 2008 Jeep Compass traveling on Charleswood Drive when someone in an unknown vehicle fired through her window. Nixon attempted to drive away after being shot but lost control of the vehicle. Nixon hit a tree and rolled onto the property on Charleswood Drive. Several children were inside the vehicle when the shooting happened. Deputies canvassed the area for witnesses and was unsuccessful. Wow. Wow. This girl's driving in a car with a bunch of kids. Some fools pull up on her and spray the car and hit her. That's worse than what Chad Wheeler did. I ain't gonna lie to you. To me, that's worse than what Chad did. All these black people, man. Yeah. Look at these kids right here. Suspect arrested after man and 5 children killed in Muskogee.
That's right, Neely. We're also learning more about the children who were killed here. The youngest one was just 1 year old. The oldest was 9. We're also learning more about the man who was here. Police now say that he was the suspect's brother. But there are still lots of questions for the neighbors, like why this had to happen to innocent children.
It was kind of scary, but we're okay.
Susan Dvorak says police captured Jerron Pridgeon in her backyard. Police say they arrested him running from the home where they found 5 children and 2 adults all shot. 4 children and the man dead at the scene.
How do you describe it? I mean, it's a tragic and it's their babies. You know, you can't comprehend it. You can't process it. You just can't.
The woman survived after being flown to a hospital with 1 child who died there. The survivor believed by family and friends to be the mother of the children.
She loves her children, and I'm just going to ask the Muskogee citizens in the world just to pray for Brittany. Pray for her. It doesn't matter what her past is. It doesn't matter. Pray for her now.
Keon Derrick says she knows the family and prays while they wait for answers, like how the suspect is connected to what happened here.
It was not random, obviously, because they all did live in this home together. But as far as what all of those relationships look like, we just don't know that yet.
The family had only lived here about a month.
It's going to be hard. It is, because you think about those kids. Yeah.
Even though you didn't know them.
You know, I'm a grandmother, and how can you not? You know, even if you didn't have kids, how could you not think about babies being murdered that way?
Hard to accept what happened right next door. And something else that we've learned this evening, there were 3 other children that were also inside the house last night that were not harmed. Live in Muskogee, Kim Jackson, News Channel 8.
That buster killed all them kids, man. Get in the comment section, like, subscribe, donate, man. Peace. I'm out.